marriage. We need to get to that place where flexible, you know, you allow people to change. We'll give you an example. Us ladies, probably you were a bit smaller and now you've gained some weight because you've had babies, or the men had a lot of hair, now the hair is thinning out or it is changing color. We need to allow ourselves to go through the changes of the seasons. You can't freeze people in the version you met. You cannot do that. Even when you love them so much. As in, I loved my husband when he was, he didn't have any gray hair in his head. And now he's got lots. I'll be like, let me freeze him in that mode where he had nothing, no gray hair, so that I can love him in that way. That's not how it works. So we need to be people who are open to loving people the way they are, because that is key, guys. Life will change us. Let's talk about forgiveness. One of the hardest part of marriage, forgiveness. You can't stay married without forgiving over and over again. You cannot. You have to be at that place where now, beyond the wedding, I mean, before the wedding, you can just call and say, honey, can you pick me up at this time? And he's there. Honey, can you get me this? And he gets it. Honey, can you do this? And they do it. After marriage, some people just, relax, let down their guard and stop trying so hard. If he was taking you out many times, then you find he's now forgotten that even outing counts. They think you are okay. You don't like going out, or you don't like flowers, or you don't like treats and surprises. Just because you're now married to me doesn't mean I've changed to a point where I don't care about the things that were important then. So we also need to be at that place. Like I said, without learning to forgive over and over again, not just for big betrayals, small disappointments, or for just small disappointments, forgotten anniversaries, hurtful words, moments of misunderstandings. You just learn how to forgive over and over and over. Forgiveness doesn't mean ignoring pain. Remember, guys, it doesn't mean ignoring pain. It means choosing peace over pride. That is also key, that we choose peace over pride. An example, a man once told me, I realized I love my wife the most, not when she's perfect. That is what some man said. His name is James. I'm sorry I mentioned your name. But when I see her trying again after we've argued, that's why marriage looks like beyond. That's what marriage looks like beyond. Because that's what he was saying, that he realized he loved his wife when I'll say it again. Like James told me that I realized I love my wife the most when she wasn't perfect. So there's a way we can depict ourselves as though we are perfect. Everything is in place. Some women don't even sleep without makeup. They wake up so early so that he doesn't see them without makeup, or they don't smile so loud so he doesn't see that she laughs or smiles. So that puts a weight on you. But the moment you stop trying and you become real, that real person connects with another real person, because at the end of the day, guys, we are all real. So guess what? The moment we connect on that level, then our relationship can be pushed further. But when he said, but when I see her trying again after we've argued, that's why marriage looks like beyond. When I look at their experience, that's what marriage looks like beyond the wedding day. Two perfect people choosing to repair instead of replace each other. Because there are some people who just look for a replacement. You have this one and you say, she talks too much, I'll just get someone else. That is not a solution for a relationship, because this one talks too much, so you'll get someone else. Instead of repairing this one, you look for a replacement. That is so wrong, because even the other person you get will realize you don't like people who talk and will stay quiet. But because that is not her, it will still not work for long, because Keeping up appearances can give you a weight that is not called for. A reminder, guys, it's a live chat. Go ahead and drop in the comment section what you think of the topic of discussion today, and I will read all your comments. I want you to drop a heart, yeah? I just want you to drop a heart on this one, and I'm going to read your comments and get to see what you all have been up and about. Cedric says, hello. Kiran Corey says, we are watching from Uganda. Good to hear, Kira, that you're in Uganda. Guys, if you're watching from somewhere else, let me know who it is that is watching and where you're watching from. It's a live podcast. And Cedric says, good to be back on your channel. Thank you so much, Cedric, for always tuning in. And Shaboya, hello, everyone watching. She says, hello. And then Mukasa Lydia says, greetings, everyone. Hello, Lydia. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I'm glad that you've dropped by. And Musisi Rogers says no. I think Musisi was responding to that question that the motion I suggested, where I told you to drop a no or a yes. Let me find what that was about. But remember, Rogers, sorry, Musisi Rogers, I told you to give me a reason as to why you're saying no. So I need to hear from you. Mukasa Lydia says marriage brings out the inner side of someone. It does. And Lydia, I agree with you on that one. It brings out, if they're argumentative, you get to see, because nothing will camouflage who they truly are anymore. So it does bring out the inner side of someone. And Cedric says, marriage is the greatest test of love. Wow. If you guys can go ahead and add on to that, let me know why you say the things you're saying. Why is it the greatest test of love? I guess he says that because if you have loved someone, Cedric, you can go ahead and explain more why you said it's the greatest test of love. Let me not put words in your mouth. And Mukasa Lydia says, true, 7770, greetings. And Cedric says greetings. Then Shaboya says it's easy to get married, but hard to keep the marriage. That is so true. So guys, I will ask you again. It's a live podcast. What do you think? If you give me a comment, I need you to back it up. Let me know what you think. Why would you say what you're saying about marriage? Because that's my take. I agree with most of you. Shaboya said it is harder to stay married. Love is easy. Otherwise, if we can continue, like I said, drop a heart in the chat if you've ever had to forgive someone you truly love. Drop a heart and let me know if you have ever had to forgive someone you truly loved. And forgiveness is love's highest test. When we love or choose to love, we will be tested on that one. That person you love will hurt you and really hurt you many times. But how long are you willing to forgive them? Or how long are you willing to go on the forgiveness line? You know, forgiving them for the hurt that they've caused to you. Go ahead and drop in a heart if you've ever had to forgive someone you truly love. Otherwise, I need to know from you guys who are watching, what is it that you think? Is it true that marriage, there is a life really beyond the wedding day? If you are married, and if you're not married and you've been thinking of getting married, let me know what you think. Because my take is, what marriage really means beyond the wedding day. That is my take. That's my stand. I want to expose what marriage is beyond the wedding day. So let me know what you think. Is there a life beyond the wedding day? Because when we put in so much we put in so much trying to prepare, making sure the venue is right. Oh my goodness, many group brides are sad on their wedding day because probably they don't like the colors, the way they arrange the seats, where they put their guests, or the cake, the way it looked. Many people focus on that day of the wedding. But I wanted to show you something, that on the day of preparing the wedding, you can delegate. You have this team that makes sure you arrive on time. You have this team that ensures the food is set and that the guests are sat, that your dress is looking perfect. You have these people who are out there to ensure everyone is served. Yeah. But when it comes to the wedding, guys, to marriage, you cannot delegate. You put in everything. Whatever you don't put, you will not reap, you will not see. There is no delegating. So I want us to be more prepared of that life beyond the wedding day. Let us not stay in the loop of wedding day. Oh my God, I'm getting married. Oh my goodness. There is this lady who was a good someone I knew very well. She got married to a doctor. Oh my goodness, that doctor was spoiling her with all the niceties you could think of. And she got used to it. And the man was more of a show off. Every time he would meet her, even when he misses appointments with her or dates, he would spoil her with maybe a bouquet of flowers, send her on trips to go and do shoppings. But then one day, they were planning he proposed and she said yes. And the moment she said yes, the man was like, now I want your whole family to first come and live in my house or my place. See how you will live before you actually come after the wedding. Oh, the woman was over the moon because her background was not one that was wealthy. So she packed with her mom, her sisters, her brothers, and her dad, and they went off to live in this man who was going to be her future husband's house. And she came back with one of the sister was my friend. So the sister is the one who came back. Oh my goodness, we went to the house. They had a marble table, dining table. They had this, they had that. We had dinner served on a menu. We had chefs. Oh, she had a lot to say. So once they were living in his house, they lived there for a month just before the wedding. It was all good. I mean, everyone who went was like, when are you getting married to this man? He will spoil you. And the parents couldn't say anything bad about the man because of the way he treated them when they lived in his house for a month. And after the month, he packed things and shopped for them as they were going back to their houses. And they couldn't say anything bad about the man. After the wedding, she got to the house and the true color. I don't know what marriage does. Like I said, guys, it brings out the true self. Marriage does have that ability to do that to us. So the man was playing and being like a man. He would come late, leave her in that big house alone. She would have dinners alone. And she was a single mother before he married her. And it was Independence Day. And he said he won't be able to make it. He has to go in and operate on someone. And he left her with a lot of money to go out with her friends and her parents if she wanted to, and do whatever it feels that she wanted to do. Now, she chose to go to Munyonyo. Uganda is a small country. We have very few recreation places to go. So your chances are you're likely to find someone that you know when you go to any of them, especially if you belong to a particular circle, because there are those small places where humble people go, but there are also big places where those who want to blow up on money go. So she chose to go there because she had the money to do that. And while she was seated at that place in Munyonyo, it's got some nice place where you see horses, get on horses and eat. They were on the storied bit of that place. And someone told her, isn't that your husband down? He was down with another lady on a chair, being all lovey-dovey. And they were just married for a month because he brought the parents in the house for a month with her. And then after the wedding, they went back and she was married for a month when all this happened. And she called him and said, you told me you'll be working today. Where are you now? He says, well, I'm at work. I'm in theater. You're just inconveniencing calling right now. And the woman said, well, if you're in theater, just look up because I'm right above where the lights are. And when the man looked up, because she was being sarcastic, he happened to see her. But he continued doing what he was doing with the other lady. And when she got furious, he was like, what is it that you want? You wanted money? I treated your poor family as royalty. I gave you that wonderful wedding. What is it that they asked for as bride price that I didn't deliver? Now, what is it that you want? If you don't want, just get your son and leave my house. And he wasn't even respectful. So you realize that in marriage, beyond the wedding day, you want to see love is not enough. You want the respect as well. You want, the partner. There's a lot that you need or call from this person after the wedding. But when it's wedding day, it's all about love. Oh my goodness, he carried me. Oh, he did this. All that we are here to digest beyond the wedding day. Because trust me, guys, that is something that will come to all of us or has come to all of us. The truth of life beyond the wedding day. So let me know in the comment section what your experience is, if you have been married before, or if you're married now, or you're thinking to get married. Are you focusing on the wedding day or the life beyond? Like another lady that I would give example of, for her game is always to live for today. She doesn't want anyone who talks about preparing, like the man is saying, can we save some money and buy a car or buy a house or furnish our house? She's like, why would I bother myself with such things? And they are planning to get married. She wants one thing, take me to Spain to shop, take me to France to get my gown. Looking at just that day. But after the wedding, reality hits, and it hits hard. Have you noticed many people when they get married, the very first month of marriage, things are not easy. I don't know about you who are watching. Like I said, let me know where you're watching from. And also let me know whether it happens to you like it does here. People get married and then all of a sudden there's no money. You're struggling to pay rent after the wedding because you're in big debt. You threw this big wedding and now you owe literally everyone on the village, the man who sells the food, the one who sells chickens, the one who cooked, the venue, because you incurred so much expense on just the day. So we need to also make arrangements to look beyond that day, because after the wedding day, life continues, guys. It does continue. And are we prepared for the life after the wedding? Many people say that the devil has never hit them like the day he hit them after the wedding. There's one person who figuratively spoke and said that they had to even sell their bed, the bed they had, and slept on the mattress to be able to get through that period after the wedding. So when we are planning our weddings, guys, we need also to put into consideration that life continues after the wedding. Many people find out things or facts about their partners after the wedding day. And what you find out is not normally what will keep you in that relationship. So while we are dating, let us try and dig deeper. Get to know more about this person that you're getting married to. Where do they come from? What is more important to them than I normally give this example. There's a gentleman I have grown up in church, and I have so many stories about that because church has so many people. So in case you're wondering where do I get my stories from, I've grown up in church, and while you grow up in church, you see a lot. There is this guy who was in charge of the youth in church. And he got married. He was getting married to this lady. And when the youth pastor is getting married, it's really, really exciting because all the girls are trying so hard to be the ones that he chooses. I was a bit younger then and still going to school. And me, I had a fear or a scare of marriage because I had gathered enough information to keep me off it, because it seemed like this thing that always looks and is doomed for failure. So this man marries this lady, and before they get married, they were talking. All the time they would be together, but they would come in the church compound and talk. And the man would be like, oh, I dream, I want to have kids, I want to have 10. Men, I don't know what you have with number 10 and kids. You tend to want 10 kids. I don't know why and for what. But this man said he wanted 10 kids. Someone was like, what? 10 kids? That's too much for me. I'm not a breeding machine. So they were joking back and forth about marriage. And the woman eventually got to an agreement where they said we'll have maybe 4. So the woman said 4, the man said 6. The woman said 4, the man said 6. Okay, the woman said, okay, we'll have 4. And the man said, okay, it will be 4, but I'll see how I'll convince you to bring in the other 2. So it was a really, really joyful time for them, but only until the wedding. After the wedding and the DJ had stopped the music, people had gone. In Uganda, when you get married, at the reception, they tend to have rooms for the bride and groom to stay after the wedding. They are being considerate that you've drunk or you are tired and you can't drive that late. So they tend to allow them. I think that charge is also on the bill that they give for hiring a place for reception. Now, this lady